Godzilla Battle Lines Review. Godzilla Gatcha. Please see the epic moment of my nearly dead lone survivor Kamakris securing the win while facing down 3 Godzilla. Here's a review of Godzilla Battle Lines, the official Godzilla Gatcha game. I'll keep my history with Godzilla short. I've been a Godzilla fan since I was a kid, with one of my fondest childhood memories being going to Blockbuster with my family to rent Godzilla DVDs. I absolutely love this franchise. So on to the game. I've been playing this game for a couple months now and wanted to give my thoughts on it. If you're curious about where I am as a free-to-play currently, I am rank 7, amassed 69, nice. I have 87 of the monsters currently in the game. The highest arena rank I've gone to on the ladder is 40. I do not follow the meta or do any online research for gameplay or anything like that. My conclusions are just based off my own experience with the game. So if there's anyone seeing this who's big into the meta, I do not have that knowledge. One of my favorite aspects of the game is that there's a lot of background info in the game for each monster. Each monster has footage from the source material and gives a description, which includes things like the year of the movie. This is just awesome. The game basically works as a Pokedex for Godzilla monsters. If you're a longtime fan of Godzilla like me, then you will really enjoy this. My main motivation for playing is collecting everything rather than laddering, which I'll get to the idea of laddering later. One strong positive is that the game constantly throws pulls at you. It even gives 4-star units for free pretty often. So collecting is honestly really easy. Outside of that, event currency gives you many opportunities to get specific 4-stars you want, such as through the fragments you can redeem for units. If you're primarily just interested in collecting the roster like me, then the game makes that far more doable than any other gacha game I've played. This game has been out for 3 years, and after about 4 months, I already managed to get around 75% of the roster. The real reason why they give you so many pulls, though, is because the way you level units is entirely based on getting duplicates. There's no equipment, no experience levels from using them, and no additional skills from dupes. You level up from dupes, and that increases your stats. There are star points as well, but those boosts are pretty minor and also predicated on how many dupes you have. If you like games where you can customize your units to any degree, this game does not provide that. Units are very static, and improvement just comes from pulling them. At times, this can feel boring, but it also makes it very easy to play. If you want very simple gameplay, then this is a positive. If not, it's a negative. But while it does throw tons of pulls at you, like most gachas, the rates are very low. So you will get tons of non-4-star guaranteed pulls, but most of them will get you the same units you already have a lot of, and likely don't have enough G tokens to level up. So be smart with the G tokens. I've gone to 4-star from a non-guaranteed probably 4 times or so now, after hundreds of pulls. It does happen, but I wouldn't get your hopes up and recommend saving your premium currency G stones for guaranteed maps. The normal pull rate for gold maps is 3%, and all the other maps get lower. There's also no pity system. And I've pictured the normal expedition map has a 0.01% for a 4-star, but I was actually able to get that. And I got a King Ghidorah, and one I actually wanted. So I just had to show that off. Whether I would recommend this game to someone who plans to be free to play depends on your motivation. If you primarily want to collect, then you will be fine, as getting just one version of 4-stars really is not that bad, considering how many free ones they give you, which can include the non-general pool ones. If you seriously want a ladder, then being free to play absolutely sucks once you get to higher ranks. So now onto the general ranked gameplay, which is what you'll spend most of your time doing, as it's the main way you get rewards outside the side game modes that run at certain times like most gacha games have. In general, I would say it's pretty fun, but has glaring issues that has only gotten worse as I've played more. And I wrote this a bit ago, so yeah, quick addition, this is even more the case now. I've had some awesome close matches, both with low health battling down to the wire. This is the most fun I've had in ranked. Whether I win or lose doesn't even matter with those kind of matches. This is the gameplay at its best, when things are even. The problem is that it does not happen a lot of time, and the higher your ladder, the less that happens for a free-to-play player like me, at least in my experience. This game is absolutely pay to win, plain and simple. I have little experience with PvP gacha games, so I don't know how out of the norm battle lines level of pay to win is, but for me, it's very apparent. It makes ranked matches not fun to play a lot of the time. There are some matches where it is extremely obvious that their units are far higher than mine. One example I've had is where both of us are using the -1 Godzilla that nukes in the water on spawn. A higher level one is so clear when mine coming down does a decent amount of damage to everything, and theirs coming down kills absolutely everything around it. When the newest Orga came out, I remember multiple moments where we both had fresh Orgas fighting each other one-on-one. Mine does a quarter of their health, theirs would do like half of mine. It is just a blatant advantage, and when it's bad, it just makes the game feel very unfair. It's not like level differences cannot be overcome at all through good teams and game, and like playing well, but it's such a daunting uphill battle that is just not fun most of the time. The difference between units can feel like night and day. You can go ahead and say get good, lol, if you want. I'm not trying to claim to be great at the game, but when levels can more than double your stats, it is objectively true that it is a massive advantage to spend more money. It also makes it difficult to feel like you have a good grasp of the game. Every time I think I find a unit that I consider like very tanky or powerful, I get a match where it dies instantly or does pathetic damage because of the difference in levels and how that changes how strong, how much HP they have, etc. It's just really frustrating when stuff like that happens. Getting those types of matches where it feels like no matter how good I play, I will lose is really demotivating. I've had lots of matches where it felt fair, and also ones where I completely destroyed them. I do think the units themselves feel decently balanced, though as of recording this, that's definitely less of the case. Where you can try different team comps and actually have some success. That's still true though. An especially great aspect is that the lower rank and lower cost units do actually have a lot of value. Like some of the favorites of mine are the trio of the MBAW93, Manila 1967, and the trio of Kamakris. You really should have a variety of unit costs so you can adapt to different matchups. You don't just spam high cost premium units to win, most of the time. This is kind of broken by one of the most recent units, 1000 Year King Ghidorah. This thing is too strong as of writing that when it was coming out. It felt like that thing should be 10 cost for how good it can be. Like Godzilla Earth being 9 cost has nothing on it. I finally got it recently as of writing, and before that it was so daunting to win against people who had it. Whether the opponent is using this thing or not, single-handedly puts you on the back foot all game if you're not using it. At the time, I was trying to get the achievement to use it as the leader, and it just went right back to feeling ridiculously difficult, because that means I couldn't put it on the field. It's just not balanced and feels over-centralizing. Another minor edit since then, the units that came out, I felt the exact same way about. They do have a matchmaking mode that puts everyone's units at the same level. This is a good mode to have, and it's better that it's there rather than not. But this is in a free mode rather than a ranked battle, which is the mode you need to play in order to complete missions and other objectives. So while you can do it for your own enjoyment, you aren't rewarded for it at all. If you stop doing ranked, you'll be giving up way too many rewards. At least there are other game modes that do have pretty good rewards and can be fun. Like All-Star Battle is a very good side mode fundamentally. It lets you use pretty much the entire roster, but with it being random who you get to use each match. So you have a chance to use characters you don't have and get to use units you normally wouldn't. So this is great for gameplay variety. But once you get far in, the difficulty gets absurdly hard. The game uses your unit's level for the ones you have, and you don't have our base level, which means this mode also suffers from the reliance on dupes. In my experience, when you get to the 60s, it becomes absurdly difficult, where they're constantly spamming units way faster than you can defend against. It stops being fun because I see no way through these later levels without having most units in the game very high level and having perfect luck with what units do show up when. It just becomes very frustrating, and I end up redoing old levels instead for the coins rather than actually trying to progress more, because I don't want to get frustrated. The other game modes, the egg hatching one, is fine. I don't have a lot to say about it. It can get you a 4-star if you're lucky, and if you don't miss out on playing. And it does encourage you to use different units as it puts some restrictions on team building. But it's not perfect. It's fine. So that's also more varied gameplay, which is good for things not getting too repetitive and relying entirely on ranked gameplay. If you like missions and achievements, this is absolutely the game for you. There are thousands of missions and achievements. Every character has achievements for getting kills, being used in a team successfully, being used as a leader, etc. If you're one of those people who just loves the joy of seeing a goal get checked off, this game gives you plenty to do. And these missions and achievements give you additional incentive to use varieties of units and leaders. The rewards for special missions in particular can be pretty rewarding, and as long as the units are balanced well enough, I think rewarding players from diversifying is great. Small edition, it can be very difficult to do these. Like not using the most recent better units, like when a new powerful unit has released, is honestly really tough. You do really feel like you're on the back foot trying to get these achievements. But it's not that bad. The game does push ads a lot while also being highly monetized. It's the only gacha game I played that pushes ads this hard. It really wants you to watch ads and like play other people's games. You can get a free pull every day by watching the ad. One of the daily missions I've gotten is to watch 4 ads. As I'm writing this, I have 2 of my 5 daily missions be to watch ads. Not even kidding. While all traditional gacha games are highly monetized with premium currencies, packs, etc., this one does all of that while also pushing ads at you. I could absolutely see people getting annoyed over it. At this point, I'm mostly skipping the free daily normal map because I don't want to have more ads shoved in my face. It's not the end of the world, but it can be tedious. And I'm sure people who are really, really tired of ads and just like the onslaught of ads that you're always pushed with through pretty much everything in daily life now, I can totally understand if that's like a deal breaker for you. The expedition system is also a minor annoyance that wants you to spend more money in order for the game to not annoy you. Normally, it's not a big deal that I'm not doing tons of matches every day and frequently maxing out the limit of expeditions. But having the expeditions be limited demotivates me from playing a lot of matches when I am really getting into it, because the extra ones that get converted give less than they would if you did them normally. While I understand monetization, this is one of the ways they do that, this game is already highly monetized. This just makes me want to play their game less when I do actually feel like playing it. So when I'm really into it and want to do like more than, like 6 or so matches, or even like 4 or 5, then it really just it gets less rewarding to play more, which feels counterintuitive to the purpose of wanting people to play a lot. To conclude, I do plan to continue playing the game despite my problems with it. I want to continue collecting all the monsters from Godzilla's long history, and the game does make doing that generally fun and not feel impossible without dedicating my entire life and my savings to it. While it is very monetized, being free to play doesn't feel too bad, and things like watching ads can be ignored. When the gameplay feels balanced, it is genuinely very fun. I really enjoy it. I'll just step away from ranked and all-star when it gets frustrating and say whatever to the lost rewards. I'm not a person who needs to complete everything. If you aren't seriously trying to rank and just pursuing the many missions, the PvP aspect of the game it's not that bad and is enjoyable. There's plenty of other things to do in your life outside of trying to rank in this game. Thanks for reading. Well, watching.